Good morning, everybody. How are we today? Welcome to Friday and another NMD Live. How exciting. We are nearly to the end of our NMD Lives. I think we've probably got about another, maybe, well, when I say nearly, probably another 10 to go, which is exciting because they have been fantastic. The feedback has been amazing. So today we have the beautiful Rebecca Neale, and Rebecca will be coming on here very shortly, I am sure. I'm starting to see people pop on now. Come on, say hi, say where you're coming in from. Hey Jess, good morning, how are you? And that everybody on this beautiful, beautiful Friday morning. So let's have a little squizzy here just to see who's online so far. There's the beautiful Rebecca. Now, Beck, I don't know, are you on your phone, gorgeous girl? Because it says I can't bring you on camera. So just have a little look. If you're not on your phone, maybe pop off, go back on your phone, have it sideways, and it should then allow me to bring you on camera. So, yeah, good work. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, there we are. Wherever you are coming in from this morning, really excited. Okay, yeah, you will need to pop on the phone. Really excited to have you here with us. I am offsite at the moment doing all things conference, and yes, can you believe this time 10 weeks away we will actually be in Perth. We'll be literally at the end of, we'll be coming to the end of the prayer breakfast. We'll be getting ready to start conference. So an amazing next 10 weeks away. So again, I'm going to encourage you, if you haven't got your tickets, get your tickets. You don't know what you don't want to miss out on this. Yesterday, myself and Lindy met with John and with Jane, and of course Jane is our beautiful event coordinator, manager, and John is wizard who works out all things lighting and staging and all the rest. So we have an amazing conference. So we're going to invite you to our Juice Plus Wonderland. And here's the gorgeous girl. How are you?
Hi, beautiful. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can. I can indeed. Yeah. No, good work. No, isn't it funny? It's so funny, actually. I've been going through, as we've been doing these, of course, I had to learn how to do it. And then so many have been saying, I haven't done one of these before, where we join people in kind of things. So I think it's great. It's an awesome way to be able to do, to have a conversation, which is really good, with a whole heap of other people watching. So anyhow.
I love it. I just got to figure out how to hold it and sit.
Oh, yes, there you go. Well, you've got to invest yourself into one of these little stands that I've got. I'm going to encourage everybody, a little bit like a selfie stick, but it's awesome. So I went out and got that. Thank you to the gorgeous Sam Lees who told me what to get. So yes, I got all of these, which is good fun. So where are you at this? Where are you today? Because I've seen you've been flitting all over the place as well. Are you back in Sydney?
I am actually. I was in Melbourne this week and Gold Coast last week with my beautiful team. So I'm in Sydney today.
Awesome. Fantastic. And that, well, welcome. And I can see some people joining us here. Oh, school holidays in Tassie. Oh, okay. Enjoy school holidays over there. It's school holidays in a few different places, I think, too. So if you are a mama on school holidays with some kidlets, enjoy. That's the beautiful thing. One of the beautiful things that this business gives you is the flexibility to be able to work around your bubs. So yeah, really love it. So Beck, what I normally do is I start off these with asking people, how long have you been in Juice Plus, and how long have you been a national marketing director?
Awesome. Thanks so much for having me on today, Selena. I'm really excited to share with people too. So I have been in the business, I think, coming up to 2 years in May. So just under 2 years.
Yeah.
So it feels like a little longer, but
yeah, it does.
2 years this year. So that's exciting. And I think I went NMD just before my 1 year. So in May last year.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. Way to go. That's cool. And I can't believe it's only 2 years. I feel like I've known you an awful lot longer than 2 years.
I was just thinking that too. I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like I've been loving this for the last 10 years. So
yeah, wow. Rightio. Okay. So 2 years. So in that 2 years, I know that life throws curveballs at us, our business throws curveballs at us, and what we definitely know to be true, because we're hearing it from everybody over these last I think we're up to probably about 40 days now, maybe, of NMD lives, is that, that's the same for everybody. What is more important is about the lessons that you learn along the way and how many times you get up when you face plant, because we're all going to face plant. And so for you, gorgeous girl, what are some of the lessons, or just some of the things that the blessings that some of us call them, that you've learned along the way, or some wisdom that you'd like to share today? What's your top 3?
Absolutely. I've been thinking about this all week because there's just so much magic that I can always share. And I was trying to think of what would be the best things to share and, how I could add value to people. So, my journey's been amazing. It's been definitely up and down. And I think what I love about this business, no matter what you're going through, it's always there, and you've got that team around you supporting you, which I find to be so incredible. And, if there are days when you are struggling on a personal level, the business keeps growing, and that's what's great. So you can come back and you can pick it up, and it's the power of, I guess, this business and the residual income. And in the beginning, I worked so hard to create what I've been able to now, I guess, feel the rewards from. And so if I do have some down days like we all do, I know that it's there and it's not disappearing at all. So I think I've just written some notes, so I will check that if I am looking away. But I think consistency is one of the number one things. I think we forget about this. And I only just on the weekend, I was scrolling through my Instagram with my partner all the way back. Like, I'm talking probably back to when I first started. And I was looking at the difference of what I was posting and sharing and the excitement of that compared to what I do now. I'm still so excited and I share lots of value, but there is a big difference between how consistent I was every day with my posting and the consistency of the different types of posts I was doing. So I was always sharing about the business. I was always sharing about the program. I was always sharing about the product, and I was very, very consistent with that. And I think that gave me a bit of a reminder, I guess, to remember when we first start, we're so excited and we share so much and we genuinely get out there and we're pumped about it. And I think you can go into that lull sort of as you've been going through for a while and forget about sharing that because you're so caught up in looking after team or doing this or doing that. And you forget about that, number one thing, which is sharing what we're doing and being excited about that. And so consistency is definitely powerful, not just for that reason, but also because I think people are always watching what we're doing and we don't realize that. And it's those people, and I've had many people join my team saying, I've been watching you for 12 months. I didn't want to reach out straight away. And if I hadn't have been consistent, even on the times that I was not feeling 100% or I had lots of other stuff going on, these people would have seen it drop off and then they would not have reached out to me eventually. So I think consistency is so powerful because it is that consistency that people are always watching. So they may not be ready just now. They may be really healthy just now, but then they go through, a period where they're struggling financially or they're struggling with their health and they remember you because you've always been sort of in the forefront of their mind. So they reach out to you. So I really believe that consistency is so, so important and committing to that right from the start.
It's vital. And two things I love there. First of all, thank you for being vulnerable and honest and saying, you know what, you're not actually as consistent as what you were back in the very beginning. Because that's a brilliant lesson for right now, and being able to kind of, that awareness is so important because, there are times when we kind of go, why is my business slowed down? Or why is I feel like I'm doing the same stuff. And then we go backwards, we take a little look back, we do a time audit or whatever, we kind of go, okay, I have slipped more into management mode than what I have been in production mode. And there's a difference, a big difference. The other thing too that I would love to pull there is that word consistency. We've heard it come up a few times. And it is that whole thing. Darren Hardy refers to it as the compound effect. Basically, every time that you're doing a little bit, based on top of a little bit, on top of a little bit, you are compounding the results. And it's a little bit like the penny doubles that many of you would have seen, the kind of that little exercise. What is it worth in 31 days? Stopping earlier, even by only a few days, takes millions of dollars away. So consistency is just so important. And again, be consistent at the level that you are prepared to actually do it at. So if you're prepared to, make 5 connections a day, be consistent at that 5 connections. If you're prepared to make 1 connection a day, that's fine too. There's no right or wrong. It's only right for whatever it is that you're going to do, because it's not just the reaching out, it's the following up. Or it's the posts. Like you say, people are watching no matter what. They're watching to see if you're actually serious about this. And when you're consistent in your posts, in what you're sharing, they will see that actually you're serious about this and will may more than likely at some stage reach out, whether that's for product, whether it's for business, whether it's for both. But I love that. I think it's such an important one. So a great word to start the day with, team: consistency.
I think that as well, Celine, and I think Jess actually shares this a bit as well, but it's that saying of the push-ups, right? Let's use that as an example. I share this with my clients a lot. If you try to do 10, 15, 20 push-ups, you've never done them before, you're going to struggle. But if you do one consistently all the way through every single day, eventually you're going to be doing 50 push-ups. It's the same with the soft drink. If you're having one every single day, that's going to add up over time and it's going to be bad for your body. So it's that consistency of every single day doing that thing, like you've just said. So it builds up over time, that consistency, into one big thing. So
okay, I have to try the push-up one.
Yeah, that small amount every single day in a year's time is going to be a lot, in that 12-month period. So I think that's what, like you just said, doing that daily one thing every single day over time adds up to your big goal.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you to everyone. I can see some more people jumping on here as well. And that I know it's early for some people. And that, hey, Brad, hey, Brookie. Hey, Laura, how's it going? Okay, alrighty. So what's tip number 2?
Oh, there's so many, I think this one I shared on my NMD speech on stage, and it was about going to events and showing up for conference, because I was the first NMD. I probably am the first NMD that didn't go to conference before getting on stage as NMD. So when I first joined the business, I think conference was a couple of weeks later, and I probably hadn't seen the vision straight away when I joined the business, which is why I probably missed conference. But once I went to an event, I just realized the power of it. And I know most NMDs talk about the power of proximity and surrounding yourself with the right people and being around that. And I think events, for example, and I know Jess and I have been working really hard on bringing our team together in all the states now and having lunches and doing all these things, and the power of connection. And even for myself, I feel is so powerful because we're in each other's space. We've got the same like-minded goals and we're sharing that, together and growing together. And I think having that supportive environment, doing something like this, especially if you're someone that doesn't have people around you doing network marketing and you're finding that stigma is going on, I think that's really powerful as well. But reminding you of why you do it, because these people are so passionate about what they do as well. And it just reignites your fire in your belly. And I know I get that from our events too. So even as a newbie, getting to these events really, lightens that passion. And I think going to conference then again, like when I did, I got to see how beautiful the CEOs were of the company, how beautiful the company was itself. I also learned so much and I connected with my team. I couldn't believe the power of conference when I went. So I think attending events or creating your own little community events with your team, or going to conference, they're really powerful things. And I know people harp on about it all the time, and I didn't realize the power myself until I started going to these things. So that would be my lesson number 2, because I think surrounding yourself with the right people, and sure, you can get on the phone or on Zoom, but it's just not the same thing. When you're in that space and environment with other people doing the same thing, it's very powerful.
Look, I totally agree. I really do. And I actually said it on one of the calls the other day. There's nothing that beats a hug. It's like you kind of started actually the call off with using the word in not so many ways, but basically that community word, because the fact is that, you create a community within our Juice Plus family that is there for you, at all times. And so, you actually start to do life with these people. And yes, we get to know a lot of people through Zooms and all the rest, but the power of the event, for a number of reasons. First of all, for ourselves, we get to stay close to the fire. And whether that's a small group event or whether it is the bigger conference, we get to stay close to the fire. You can't bottle it. It's really interesting when people try to explain why. It's like, I don't know, you just got to be there. It's a feeling, it's a love nearly that just envelops you, and the learnings and everything that you actually have at all of these events. And that's, I'm saying again, whether that's a small, guest event or whether that is the bigger company event and that. But the other thing too is that when you get to stay close to the fire, you then feel more comfortable about inviting others close to the fire. Yeah. So when you have that buzz happening at an event and you invite somebody in, they get to experience the magic that you will never be able to explain probably over a phone call. Like you said, once you got there, you realize, oh my gosh, this is something that I can't miss again. And it's so important. So, for all of you out there, I would say, get to your weekly events. If there's not one that's happening near you, start one. It doesn't have to be anything big. It can be just a coffee shop where you and a couple of girls get together and you add and you add and you add over time. But don't be worrying too much about how quickly you add or how quickly it expands. It's actually more important to be, your number one word, consistent with it. So consistent with all of these types of things, consistent with your events. And that's going to benefit you and it's going to benefit others. We had a saying back in the day, and I've heard it still being said today. You know what? Sometimes you will need the meeting and sometimes the meeting will need you. So by you showing up, you're either going to get that little injection that you really needed that week, or you're going to be the person who actually is able to add that value to it. So important. I love it. So consistency and events. And we threw in community as a little side one there. Okay. All righty. What's the next one?
I felt the power of that since we've started our lunches, and girls, saying, I'm so glad I came because I really needed this. And it really is power of connection. I feel like in the world we're in now that's so connected with social media, we actually are so disconnected. Yes. And I think the more we can connect in person, it's so powerful. So yeah, like you said, get together, even if it is 2 or 3 of you. I know there's a girl in my team down in Melbourne, there is only a couple of them, and some weeks it's just them when they show up, but they work together on something else, and then they might have 15 at the next one. So it's that, again, consistency, like you said.
Yeah.
So it's very
cool. All righty, give us another one, girl.
I wanted to share adding value to people's lives. So as I've gone through this business, I've gone through different waves of how I feel about it, what I'm doing with it, how it's, evolving through my life. And that's what I love about this. It's like a vehicle to the next thing and, to ride in. And I think that we have such a great gift in opportunity in financial, but also in health. And I think it's about adding value to people's lives. And how can you do that with this tool? Like, I like to think of Juice Plus as our tool, and it is a gift. So how can you add value to people's lives? So when it comes to social media, especially, I think ask yourself, would you follow you? Are you adding value, or are you just posting about a product? Because sure, the product is amazing. Hand on my heart, I will take it for the rest of my life, and hopefully my whole family and does so. But people don't know the power of that product when they just see it. So I think if we can add value to people's lives in the way that we share the product or the program, if you've got a program alongside the product, and what can someone, if you're about to post, what can someone gain from this? What can someone learn? Are you empowering, inspiring, or educating this person? I think adding value through social media is such a powerful tool. And I think people are going to be more likely to follow you and trust you if you're adding more value to their life. People will just scroll straight through product posts and things like that. So how can you share the product in a more valuable way? Or inspiring way. And it's the same with the business. Sure, we've got this amazing opportunity, but there's many ways to share that. And how are you sharing that? And is it in an empowering, inspiring way? I really think that we need to think about that, especially with social media being so full on and so transient and so fast. So how can you share something a bit different to what everybody else is doing?
I love that. I love those 3 words there. Just imagine, guys, just having them by your computer and just thinking about, as you're preparing, whether it's the week ahead or whether it's on a daily basis, you're preparing your posts for the day or for the week or whatever, and you're asking yourself with each one, are they empowering? Are they inspiring? Are they educating? What is it that you're actually doing? How are you actually adding value? Because again, there's a couple of things that happen there. It keeps you interested, doesn't it? I mean, like if you're just, pouring out the same thing over and over again, people will switch off. And, nowadays, I think I find with social media, people have got a really low attention span because they will scroll and it's got to catch their eye or at least look like it's going to add some kind of value to their lives. So, by being able to add, ask yourself those questions each time. Write them down. Is this post, is what I'm going to do, is it empowering, is it inspiring, or is it educating? And one of the things that we want to do as a company as well is we're increasing our marketing and social media departments to be able to help create some value there as well, to be able to, for those of you who maybe are not as creative, because sometimes people say to me, I don't know what to post. and so you will find that we've got more education articles and things like that you can then on share as well, just to be able to fill in the gaps. It's not about it being the all thing, but to help you to be able to do that. And again, I think it's really important to be showing that whole lifestyle rather than just, posting juice plus, as we know. And I know many teams, encourage you not to do that. Create the lifestyle. And if you're using a personal profile, you're not supposed to do it anyhow, really. So what can you do that actually encourages? And if you haven't got a program as part of the team that you're currently in, well, then I'm going to encourage you to come alongside Healthy Living Revolution, because that's, again, something else that we've got there to be able to bridge the gap. There's some amazing programs out there that I know that, Beck, you work with, and many of the other teams, but some of you don't. So for those of you who don't, reach out and join our Healthy Living Revolution group, because again, we're talking about inspiring stories and things that you will be able to share that fit that category: empowering, inspiring, and educating. So I love these here as well. Again, are you adding value? Ask yourself the question each day: are you adding value to somebody's life? Are you adding value in what you do, whether it's an event, whether it is a social media post, whether it's a meeting, whether it's a Zoom, whether it's a live, whatever it is? When you're adding value, it's amazing how much you actually get back yourself as well, which is cool. Awesome. Oh, Beck, these have been amazing. So we kind of started off talking about community, went into consistency, another big word for today. Then, of course, events, okay, getting to the events, holding the events, being the event, whatever it might be, but making sure that we're doing those as well. And then wrapping it up with adding value. Are we being empowering, inspiring, and educating? And that. Have you got a thought you want to finish us up with?
Oh, gosh. I'm
You don't have to.
Everybody and see everyone. I'm really pumped to see everyone at conference, actually. Mm-hmm. I'm so excited. It's come around so fast. I think you might have been saying this yesterday, or how it feels like it was just yesterday on the Gold Coast. So
it so does. It really, literally does. We were sitting around a table with Jane and John yesterday, and John creates the magic for us with the staging and the lighting and all the rest. And we're going through and we're looking at all the things. And we were saying as well, we were kind of going, didn't we just do this? Like, it just feels like, so we're already thinking about next year. So it's kind of all a bit scary. It's all surreal. So 10 years, 10 weeks. In 10 weeks time, at this time, we'll be wrapping up prayer breakfast and we'll be getting ready to be going in. So it's so exciting. So that's an event to beat all events. It's our biggest event of the year. And, Beck's already said to you, don't miss them. Don't miss them. So grab your ticket now, because this one will sell out. We haven't got as big a capacity as we had last year, and because of the venue, the way it worked out. So grab your ticket. Don't want anybody having tears afterwards. No, it's cool. Beck, thank you so much for spending your Friday morning. I know you've got to get off to some meetings, so I really appreciate you slipping us in before everybody else and that this morning, and adding such great value. I'm going to encourage everybody to make sure you listen back, take some notes, apply, and it's really going to be an awesome day, because you've shared some great wisdom with us today. Thank you, beautiful.
So much, Celine. I really appreciate your time as well and allowing me to share. So thank you, and I'll see you very soon.
Absolutely. God bless. Bye.
Bye. Bye.